Konnichiwa minasan, genki desu ka? I'm Dave, and today we are going to be talking about the summer season of anime for 2016. So this is going to be a big meaty video. There's going to be a lot of anime that I'm going to be talking about because there were a lot of fantastic anime that aired this past season. So stick around, we got some great anime to talk about. So like last time, I'm going to put timestamps in the description below, but instead of putting the title of the anime, I'm going to put down a hint and let's see if you can guess what anime it is before you click that timestamp. Also, a couple of disclaimers. This is of course my opinion. These are the animes that were my personal favorites, not of what I think is the best, even though some of them definitely belong up there as top tier anime. Also, I want to add a spoiler warning. I probably will add some spoilers to some of the anime I'm going to talk about. I'm going to try to refrain as much as possible. I'm not going to reveal anything too big, but just know that just in case you haven't seen some of the anime, there may be some spoilers. Alright, so enough chit chat. Let's go ahead and get started with some disappointments. So the first among my disappointments is Arslan no Senki Season 2. I was a big fan of Season 1, and the problem with Season 2 is that it was only 8 episodes. So you have this huge epic continuation of a story condensed into only 8 episodes. That's like putting a whole season of Game of Thrones in only 2 episodes. You think that's gonna be any good? No, it's gonna be rushed, it's gonna be convoluted, you're gonna miss out on a lot of detail. So this was really disappointing. I loved Arslan, I loved all those characters. They are so fun, they are so interesting. I really want to see that story fleshed out more, but in 8 episodes, come on, that totally sucks. Another disappointment was the anime called Battery. This is an anime about a kid who just graduated elementary school and he's joining the baseball team for his middle school. This kid is cocky, he is arrogant, he thinks he is hot shit. He's a pitcher that thinks he's untouchable and he treats everyone around him like crap. This was disappointing for me because going in, I thought this would be probably one of my favorites of the season. It looked like a really serious anime that revolved around baseball. I'm not a big sports guy, but I do love sports anime. My problem with this anime is that not only is the main character so unlikable that everyone in the anime hates him, I hate him too, and it's hard to root for a character that you don't like. By the end of it, I just didn't care and I kind of just had to slog my way to the end. And the worst part is that the end pretty much has a cut to black ending. No spoilers, but there's a big climax, cut to black. Anime's over. You don't end your stories that way. So my last disappointment of the season, some of you may be surprised at seeing it here as a disappointment, and that is the anime 91 Days. This is an anime set in the Prohibition time in America where alcohol is illegal. Our main character's family is murdered by the mafia and he is out for revenge. You know, I'll stay away from spoilers. My big problem with this anime is that the degradation of quality in the animation was so bad as the series progressed. I actually lost any emotion that I had for any of the characters because the quality got so bad. So I recommend this anime, but I would wait till a Blu-ray release, because usually when the Blu-ray is released, they would have fixed everything that was problem animation-wise. I think the story is good, the characters are interesting, and I think the ending was pretty satisfying, but just the quality, the rush in quality and the rush in the animation is unfortunately something that happens occasionally, and this one to me suffered for it, but it is a good anime and I think it is worth watching. Alright, so that's it for my disappointments. Now let's move on to the top 12. Yeah, there were a lot of great anime this season. So for numbers 12 through 7, these are all anime I highly recommend. I enjoyed all of them. They had flaws, they weren't my complete favorites this season, but I do recommend all of them. So let's go ahead and get started. So at number 12 we have the anime Planetarian. Now this is a short anime, only 5 episodes I believe, and each episode varies in length. This is an anime about a scavenger who finds an android who runs a planetarium. This anime is set in a post-apocalyptic world, and there's only two characters, the scavenger and the android, and you kind of just see their relationship throughout this short series. I love this anime. This anime was beautiful and it was touching. You kind of go through one's own humanity, and even though the robot has no humanity, you feel for her. I think she's beautiful, and she is definitely a character that needs her own Nendoroid. The ending is really touching. I highly recommend you guys pick up this anime. Again, 5 episodes, it's worth the watch. I loved it. So at number 11 we have the anime Cheer Danshi. Go, fight, win, ha! Ah! Ow! So Cheer Danshi is about an all-male college cheerleading team, and this anime is freaking awesome. It is so unique in its premise. You've never seen an anime quite like this, and it's well done too. There is a lot of drama between the guys and their personal lives. So our two main characters quit judo and start doing cheerleading, and it's rough at first. These guys know nothing about cheerleading, but they are determined, and it is just so cool watching all of these guys get together and they work hard and they persevere. And again, all of the characters are really interesting. It's really cool seeing this group grow and grow, not only as a group, but also individually as you watch their characters progress. I definitely recommend this anime. Watching all the guys fly high in the air is really cool, and that opening is so awesome, seeing their routine in action. So at number 10 we have the anime Orange. Now this anime is about depression, regret, friendship, grief, struggling with high school life. Out of all the anime that aired this season, this anime probably made me cry the hardest because I can relate to our two main characters, Naho and Kakeru. So our main character Naho gets a letter from her future self 10 years in the future, warning her about all of the regrets that she wished she could take back. And Naho in the past reads this letter and she tries to change her own future, and she tries to save Kakeru from his inevitable death. This anime was really tough because I really could relate to Kakeru a lot. I definitely feel a lot of sympathy towards his character. The reason this one is so low on my list is that I felt like the drama was a little heavy-handed sometimes. There were a lot of plot twists which I did like and I didn't see coming. And like with the anime 91 Days, the animation quality really suffered as the series went on. It wasn't as bad as 91 Days, but it was definitely noticeable. I still recommend this anime, and probably my favorite part is that the last episode was 40 minutes, so you got a really good ending that didn't really feel rushed, and I mean good in the terms that it was satisfying. It's nice that the ending wasn't rushed at all, so I did appreciate that from Orange. So at number 9 we have the anime Berserk. And this anime is pretty good. I had a lot of issues with this anime, the CG not being one of them. A lot of people don't like the CG in Berserk. I think it's fine. CG has never bothered me that much in anime, and I think this looks pretty good. My big problem with the animation is the shading. It's too much, and they use a lot of shaky cam with the action scenes, and that is not a good way to show action. But even with all of its faults, I wanted to keep watching every week. I could not wait to watch the next episode. It's just so interesting. If you guys don't know anything about Berserk, Berserk is one of those mangas that have been so beloved over time. I mean, it's been around for decades. It's still ongoing, and people just really love it and are really passionate about it. I don't know much about Berserk. I haven't read the manga. If you want to go into this anime, I recommend you watch the Golden Age arc. That is the trilogy of 3 movies that came out before this one, and that will give you an idea of what Berserk is about. Just warning, there is a lot of gore and violence if that's your thing. But the 3rd movie, which is the one that broke me, there is graphic rape scenes in that, and that was kind of too intense for me. And in this anime series, you get to see the repercussions of those movies. From what I've heard, there are a lot of stuff left out because they just got cut, but there is a season 2 on the way. And of course, I can't leave without saying, fuck Griffith. You fucking bastard. So at number 8 we have the anime New Game. Now this is like the complete opposite of Berserk. This is cute girls doing cute things in the workplace. So we have our main character Aoba, who has a Nendoroid coming out, by the way. I'm not gonna get it, I'm gonna wait. Aoba just got out of high school and she is straight into the workforce as an artist for a video game company, creating a game that she is a big fan of, and it has been her dream to work on this game, and now she's getting to see her dream fulfilled. Now this is not Shirobako for video games. If you guys don't know, Shirobako is about the anime industry. This is not about the video game industry, even though you get to see a little bit from the development side, and more specifically the artist side. So you actually don't see development side at all. It's all about from the artist perspective, but it's really just cute girls doing cute things, and boy are these characters freaking adorable. I am a big fan of the studio that does this, Doga Kobo. They are one of my favorite studios, and they did an excellent job with New Game. This was a cute, fun anime. It definitely had its serious moments, but it's definitely not an anime you take seriously. For the most part, it's just girls having fun at work. So at number 7 we have my surprise anime of the season, and that is the Morose Mononokean. So the Morose Mononokean is an anime about Abena-san, who is the Mononokean, and his job is to bring spirits from our world into the spirit world, and he's kind of a dick and he doesn't like people very much, so he's very cynical like I am. And our other main character, Ashiya-san, and Ashiya becomes the Mononokean's part-time worker because he's indebted to him. And this is a really cute, a really good anime with these odd couple characters. And what I loved about this anime is how they kind of dealt with the monster of the week type of format. So each week we get to see the Mononokean deal with a certain spirit. And what I loved about this anime is that you really get to see the perspective of the spirit that they're helping, and they're not always bad. They're really just trying to help these spirits move on. And I thought this anime was beautiful, and I really loved the character interactions. There were definitely moments where I cried. There were definitely moments where I thought this anime was really touching and beautiful. And just seeing the relationship between our spirits and our main characters was really nice. I definitely recommend that you guys check this anime out if it flew under your radar. So at number 6 we have what I think is visually the most beautiful anime that aired this season, and that is Amanchu. Now this anime revolves around our two main characters, one being Teko. She is our new girl who just transferred into this beachside town, and she's very shy. She doesn't really make friends very easily, and she definitely misses the few friends that she has back home. And that is when she meets our second main character, Pikari. And these are their nicknames, by the way. So Pikari is a scuba diver, and she is a total free spirit. She is such a funny, weird, kind of out there character, but I appreciate that about her because she's just so kind of amazing, I guess. I don't know. She's definitely a strange one. I love this anime because of its beauty. And I really could relate to Teko a lot because I have a hard time making friends, and I kind of just isolate myself the way Teko does. And it's not until she meets Pikari that she really starts to grow into herself more, like she becomes more open. And that's really all because of Pikari. Pikari kind of forces her to be more open about things, and the dynamic of their relationship and seeing Peko grow as a character is really nice and really beautiful. It's definitely the most sliceiest of the lifeiest anime that aired this season. So there were some moments that were kind of boring for me, but for the most part this anime was beautiful, and I loved the relationship of the characters. And what I loved about this anime the most is that they had silly faces like most of the time. So the characters' faces were drawn pretty serious, and then all of a sudden you have these big huge heads and these like mouths and these big ass eyes, and it's adorable because it happens all the time, and they're perfect for Nendoroids. Hello, Good Smile Company, I hope you're paying attention because these would be awesome Nendoroids to have. So if you're not really a big fan of those funny faces, this anime might turn you off, but I really love the contrast of beauty and then all of a sudden silly faces, just like constant back and forth. It was definitely jarring at first, but you know, I kind of get used to it because I do love that kind of aesthetic. The aesthetic that makes me laugh, I love it. And if you guys think this anime looks familiar, and that is because the creator of Amanchu is also the creator of one of my favorite animes of all time, Aria. I think this is the superior anime, so if you had to watch one, I say start with Aria and then work your way up to Amanchu. There are many seasons of Aria, so I definitely would recommend this over Amanchu. But with that said, I think Amanchu is definitely worth your time. It is so beautiful, and it just really gives you an appreciation in the smaller details in life, the people around you, the environments around you. Just, I cannot get over how visually beautiful this anime is. There are just scenes that look like they are straight out of a painting, and that is why I love this anime. So at number 5 we have the anime Food Wars Season 2, and this anime was epic and freaking awesome. So if you guys have not seen season 1, you definitely have to watch that first, because season 2 is a direct continuation of season 1. Season 1 leaves with a cliffhanger in which the battle tournament that's gonna start is about to start, and season 2 sees that tournament finish out to the end, and it is amazing, and it is intense, and it is really funny and a good time. And what's great about Food Wars is, of course, the food. The food is so beautifully drawn. It makes my mouth water. It makes me so hungry every time I watch Food Wars. I just love all of the characters. There were definitely a lot of surprises this season that I didn't see coming, and it was really interesting to see how things played out in the end. And what's great about Food Wars is that it manages to mix action, comedy, drama, and parody all together, and it just works seamlessly, and it's just such a good time. The quality was excellent, as it has been in the past, but after the tournament end, I did see a drop in quality, but it was still pretty good. With that said, I really want to start reading the manga because I kind of can't wait for a season 3. I hope there's a season 3. This anime is very popular, and some of the best things about Food Wars is not only the food, but it's also the reactions of the people eating the food. They are so funny, they are so intense, and there is an ecchi warning. Some of the girls and guys get naked every time they take a bite out of the food they're eating, and it is hilarious every time. I definitely love it. I think it is so funny. Probably one of the funner animes that aired this season, so definitely check that out. So at number 4 we have the spin-off to one of my favorite animes of all time, Barakuman, and that is Handa-kun. So Handa-kun, which is our main character in Barakuman, is also the main character in this anime, of course. It's named after him, and this anime acts as an origin story to our main character Handa. So we get to see Handa-kun in high school, and he is an absolute wreck. So if you guys have not seen Barakuman, Handa-kun is completely different. If you're going into this anime thinking you're gonna get something similar, don't. You gotta check your expectations at the door, because this anime is pure slapstick comedy. Handa-kun is a slice of life comedy, but it's definitely a lot more serious. This anime is just like, what the hell is going on? So the thing with Handa-kun and his character is that everybody loves him, all the ladies love him, all the guys love him, all the guys want to be him, literally. And the thing is, Handa-kun thinks that everyone hates him, and that leads to some hilarious misunderstandings and situations, and that's kind of what the premise of Handa-kun is. And all of these misunderstandings are crazy. So for example, one girl thinks that Handa-kun has a girlfriend, and she is so devastated by that news that she tries to kill herself by jumping off the roof. And of course it was a misunderstanding, because that girl that she saw Handa-kun with was his mom. And what's even funnier is that right before she's about to kill herself, Handa-kun talks her out of it. You know what, you're just gonna have to watch it yourself, because it's just, the absolute misunderstandings are freaking so crazy. This anime was completely silly, and the reason why it's so high up on my list is that even though it is completely different from Barakuman, I love the Handa-kun character because I can relate to him so much. So even though I didn't think of myself as popular growing up, I definitely thought everyone hated me. In fact, I still think everyone hates me, so that hasn't changed. And I kind of put like a barrier around myself, like a wall, like a defensive wall, just to kind of keep myself protected. And what's funny is that Handa-kun has an exact same thing, except it is a literal barrier that he puts himself in, and that kind of protects him from everyone around him. And what's even funnier is that everyone is aware of this wall and they point it out, and it's just so funny. So Handa-kun was definitely one of the funniest animes that aired this season. So what I loved about Handa-kun is that every time I was laughing at Honda, I was also laughing at myself, because I know it's pretty absurd that I think everyone hates me. That's, you know, it's just me being overly paranoid. But every time I just saw Handa-kun in these situations, I couldn't help but laugh, and I couldn't help but relate to his situation, because it's all just misunderstandings, and Handa-kun doesn't realize that these people actually want to be his friends instead of what he actually thinks, and that they want to kill him. So it's definitely really funny, and it's definitely good to laugh at yourself. I definitely laugh at myself a lot, as you can tell from watching my videos and all my funny intros. But getting to like see that side of Handa-kun while he was, you know, a kid, and getting to see what he grows up into, it is really hard to believe that this anime and Barakuman are set in the same world. It has to be like an alternate universe, because the things that happen in this anime are so crazy, and Barakuman is a pretty grounded anime, so it's hard to believe that it's the same character, but the personalities are definitely the same in Barakuman and Handa-kun. He is definitely socially awkward, and once you watch Handa-kun, you'll definitely understand why. All the people around him are kind of fucked up. I will put a disclaimer though, that first episode of Handa-kun, probably skip over that first 10 minutes, because that is not really representative of what that anime is. The first episode doesn't start until about 10 minutes in, and I don't know why they decided to do it that way, but yeah, it was definitely weird. So definitely check out Handa-kun if you're looking for something to not take seriously at all. So at number 3, of course I wasn't gonna leave it out, and that is Love Live Sunshine. You know, I'm kind of surprised that Love Live Sunshine ended up being so high up on my list, and that was because at first I was like, not really feeling it. My problem with Love Live Sunshine was that the anime was beat for beat the same as Love Live Season 1, and that was kind of a turnoff, because, you know, we've already seen this story. Chika is almost the exact same character as Honoka. She even has orange hair. They look very similar, and even on her training outfit she has a big chi on her shirt, the same way Honoka has a big ho on her shirt to symbolize her name. It was just too many similarities between Love Live Season 1 and Love Live Sunshine, and like the characters were different enough. It's like we got 9 new girls, and that was kind of a thing that I wasn't a huge fan of. Like, why did it have to be 9 girls? Because those comparisons were going to happen. You're going to think, which girl is the Nozomi of this group? Which girl is the Nico of this group? And I mean, we definitely know who the Honoka is of this group, but the thing is, other than Chika being a direct comparison to Honoka, all the other girls are pretty different. But like, the characters this time around are so much more extreme in their personalities. Like, you thought Hanayo was really shy. Ruby takes her shyness to a whole new level. It's crazy. And then of course you have Yohane, who is like a freaking chunibyo, and she thinks she's a freaking little devil angel thing, and that's pretty funny and then weird also. And of course you have Mari, who's like,
It's joke! It's joke! そっちはジョークじゃないね。は? It's joke!
drove me crazy. So even though these girls were different, their personalities were just so intense and so insane. But of course there were standout favorites. I did like Hanamaru, and her Zura was really cute and really funny. But for the most part, Love Live Sunshine was definitely not winning me over. That is until towards the end. So I am going to go a little spoilery. So if you do care about Love Live Sunshine spoilers, you might want to just skip this part. So what I loved about it is that in order to grow as a group of characters, we have to stop imitating the people we want to be and start being ourselves. And that is like living in Muse's shadow must be really hard, because Love Live is huge and Muse is huge, and now we have this new group of 9 girls who are essentially trying to take their place, but in order to do that they have to stop being like them and start being themselves. And ultimately that is what won me over. I kinda love Love Live Sunshine, you guys. I kinda love Aqua too. They are a great group. And just that realization that Chika comes to, and what she does in the anime symbolically to show her realization of that, was really touching. Kind of sad too, because it really felt like it was an end of an era, that Aqua was putting Muse behind them. At the end of the series, I really did like Aqua a lot more than I thought I would, and I do appreciate all of these girls as characters. So they really did end up growing on me a lot. And one of the most important things about Love Live is of course the music, and I just love the OP and I love the ending so much. And it was really cool because I watch a lot of Japanese countdowns, and seeing Aqua's ending and opening in the top 20 is so freaking cool. It definitely shows that Love Live Sunshine is popular, that the girls Aqua is very popular too. And the thing is, like in Love Live Season 1, there is a rival group and they are called Saint Snow, and Saint Snow is kind of awesome too, and one of my favorite characters is the Nico lookalike from Saint Snow. So in the end, I loved Love Live Sunshine, I love Aqua, and I love all of these girls. And in case you guys were wondering who my best girl is, it's you! No, not you. Yo-chan! Yo-chan is my favorite because out of all of the girls, to me she felt the most grounded. There was nothing about her personality that was really crazy. She was just kind of a normal high school girl who's popular and very pretty. But what made me love her character is her insecurities. Her insecurities made her real to me, and it made her relatable because, yeah, I definitely have my insecure moments, and that made me sympathize with Yo-chan the way I really couldn't with the other characters. So that's why Yo-chan is my favorite. It's definitely a different reason than why I love Nico as my best girl from season 1. So at number 2, we have probably the sweetest anime that aired this season, and that is Sweetness and Lightning. This anime was so cute and just hit me right in the heartstrings. I love this anime so much. So for those of you who have not seen Sweetness and Lightning, it is an anime about a single father whose wife just recently passed away, and he is tasked with taking care of his young daughter all by himself. And at the very beginning, you definitely get to see the hardships and the struggle. Inuzuka sensei, he's a teacher and he's trying to manage work and taking care of his daughter all by himself. So early on in the anime, you see Tsumugi eating convenience store food, and Sensei realizes that she can't be reliant on just eating junk food every day. He has to make sure she's properly eating. And the premise of this anime is Sensei is going to teach himself how to cook so that he can better provide for his daughter. And that's kind of beautiful. So with the help of one of Sensei's students, Kotori has a restaurant that her mother runs, and she allows Sensei to work in her kitchen so that they can both kind of learn how to cook together. So they have this symbiotic relationship where they're both helping each other learn how to cook for not only their own sakes, but also for Tsumugi's sake. So seeing these characters come together for like a central purpose of making sure Tsumugi can eat properly is so nice and beautiful. So one of the things that I really loved and appreciated about this anime is the relationship between Kotori, the student, and Sensei. They have a completely platonic relationship, and that is so refreshing to see because they are just two people coming together for the common goal of learning how to cook, not only for their own sakes but also for Tsumugi's sake. So it's just a beautiful story of people wanting to help each other. Just, oh my god, Tsumugi was such a great character. What I loved about her is that her voice actress was a little kid. So getting to actually hear a little kid's voice just made her character much more real. Like every time Tsumugi was happy or excited or sad, it just felt very real to me. And just hearing the voice of a child speak like that, It's just something that you can't replicate when you have an adult playing a child role. And the thing is, this anime is not all sweetness. You definitely see the struggle. It is hard times raising a child on your own, especially if you're a working father. But Sensei does it. He sacrifices a lot so that he makes sure Tsumugi is eating healthy, that she's being taken care of, that he's there for her during school activities and stuff like that. And when you see those moments, you see all the moms are there and he's the only dad. It's kind of beautiful to see that he is there for her. And there are moments where Tsumugi gets into arguments with her dad, and it definitely feels real. Like I said, I'm a big slice of life guy. I just love anime like this, and you get to see a perspective that you don't normally see in anime or in slice of life. So I highly recommend Sweetness and Lightning. It is just such a rewarding anime to watch. And out of all the anime that aired this season, Sweetness and Lightning is the one I'm going to miss the most. Alright, so we made it to my number one anime of the summer 2016 season. So what anime could have beaten Love Live and Sweetness and Lightning? Well, my number one anime from the manga author who goes by the name of One, from the creator of One Punch Man, there can be only one number one, and that is, of course, Mob Psycho 100. Oh my god, how does this anime exist? How can the guy who created One Punch Man, one of my favorite mangas of all time, do it again? How did he do it? So we have our main character Shigeo. He also goes by the name of Mob, and he has psychic powers. He's extremely powerful. In the same way Saitama is powerful, like One Punch powerful, Mob is also extremely powerful in his psychic abilities. And the thing is, Mob is kind of a loser. He's kind of a loner. Nobody really likes him or takes him seriously, which is very similar to Saitama. Like, if you look at Saitama, you wouldn't think he's the most powerful guy, but he is, and that kind of is the same way with Mob. He is very powerful even though he doesn't look like it. So there are a lot of similarities between Mob Psycho 100 and One Punch Man, and of course you're going to see a lot of similarities between Mob himself and Saitama. So the story of Mob Psycho 100, we have Mob, and he works at a detective agency under his master Regan. Now at this detective agency, even though Regan is not actually a psychic and he has no powers, he's kind of a con artist who uses Mob for his abilities. So Mob is the guy who's actually taking care of evil spirits and stuff like that with his powers. But the thing is, as the anime goes on, you find out Regan's kind of fucking awesome. So this anime kind of revolves around Mob and his life and the people around him. Now visually, Mob Psycho 100 is kind of ugly and beautiful at the same time. The animations are so well detailed, but like hideous the way people are drawn. It is hilarious. Unlike One Punch Man, where the character designs are really clean and really detailed, Mob Psycho 100 is detailed in a completely different way that's unique to this style. I love the way characters are drawn. I love how their faces are depicted. It's constant barrage of expression, and it is so awesome and it is so good. Now what separates Mob Psycho 100 from One Punch Man is that One Punch Man is purely comedy satire, while Mob Psycho 100 does have comedic elements and it is really funny. It is also very serious. Now going into Mob Psycho 100, the first few episodes were good, but I wasn't in love yet. It wasn't until episode 5 that I really just got blown away at what was happening. So during episode 5, there is just this huge tonal shift that changes the direction of this anime from where I thought it was going into something else, and it just branches out into being something much more than just a simple comedy. If you're not a huge fan of One Punch Man or One's style, he definitely does things a certain way, especially with his characters. So if you did not like One Punch Man, you may not like this, but I definitely think this has a much more coherent story. My favorite part of Mob Psycho 100 though was Mob himself. He is such a kind, beautiful character. Shigeo, he is so great. I really wanted to root for him. He is a character that wants to work hard to better himself and not be reliant on his psychic abilities. So I definitely recommend Mob Psycho 100. It is my favorite anime of the summer 2016 season, and it is also a lot of people's favorite anime too. It was so well done. The studio behind it was amazing. The quality never let up, and it only got better as the anime kept going. So Mob Psycho 100 was definitely my favorite anime of the season, so check it out. So that's it. Those were all my favorite anime from the summer 2016 season. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sweetness and Lightning, Mob Psycho 100 are some of the best animes that I have seen in years, so definitely check both of those out. They're both completely different animes and I love them both. Definitely let me know what were your favorite animes for the summer 2016 season. Definitely let me know who your best Love Live girl is. Yo-chan's the best, right? Yo-chan? So let me know your favorite anime and favorite Love Live girl down below in the comments. What were your guys' favorites? I definitely want to hear from all of you guys. So I'm not going to be doing a fall anime preview like I did last time. These videos just take so much time to do and so much time to edit. Just know that Natsume Season 5, Haikyuu Season 3, and Poco Udon's World are 3 animes that are just so amazing, and I can't believe how cute Poco is! You guys need to watch this anime, it's amazing! And speaking of Haikyuu, I've been doing a lot of Nendroid Haikyuu reviews recently, so I'll leave a link to my latest Haikyuu Nendroid review up here in the corner, so make sure to check that out. And before I go, make sure to follow me on all of my social media. Check out my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Facebook. So that's gonna do it for me here today, guys. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ja ne!